Okay, well, today the main ingredient in today's recipe for Wizpow Ramen is chicken tenderloin. And as you can see here, we picked up some pretty good pieces of chicken tenderloin. And a lot of times you can find this, if you look real closely, you can find it reduced. So just a little bit of really good meat or poultry goes a long ways when you're doing ramen. And I really feel sorry about the poor little yard bird, but we're bigger and we're more hungry, I think. So anyway, we're going to take the tenderloin, chicken tenderloin, and we're going to cut it in long strips, basically. Now some little pieces will come out here and there, and that's fine. But as you can see, we're going to cut it in long strips like this. And this is going to make for faster cooking and also for better preparation along with the ramen noodles. So you can get a little bit less chicken spread out over more ramen noodles. And then we're also going to show you how to marinate this in just a second. Now also, before we cook this, maybe about an hour before, we're going to marinate this chicken. First we cut it into strips, as you've seen, and then we're going to mix up maybe about half an ounce to an ounce of your favorite soy sauce, and then we're going to put about a tablespoon of some orange sauce, which is something that you can find somewhere. If you don't have this, there's some alternatives, but orange sauce is really one of my favorites. And then this is, we're just going to sweeten it a little bit. We're going to take a little bit of this, and this is really interesting. This is red chili pepper spread. It's kind of like a chili pepper preserves. It's actually quite sweet, but it's made with chili peppers. And we're going to take a good, maybe tablespoon or so, extra double teaspoon of that. I'm going to put that in there. Mixing this all up, this will make our marination. And we want to make sure that we beat it pretty good, or whip it pretty good here, so that the thick parts and the thin parts come in. Then we're just going to basically take our shredded chicken, the chicken tenderloin that we cut up into thin pieces, and we're going to put this down in our marinade. Like so, and we'll get this marinating for about an hour while we prepare our noodles and scrounge up some vegetables to go with it. See, that's gonna be very good. Let that sit for about an hour. Other stuff. Now while we're preparing our noodles, we did manage to scrounge up some tasty vegetables to add with it. Almost any kind of vegetables will do. Definitely we're going to add a lot of these, a lot of mushrooms. And we're going to cut these down a little bit. But these are a very good thing. We add some mushrooms. Some of the smaller ones we're going to put whole. Some green beans. We found some carrots. We found some little pieces of chili. We're going to put those in there as well. Almost any kind of vegetables will work. We're going to add some fresh onion in there. And then we'll see what happens from there. The ingredient is top ramen. Now I was looking through here after we got back from our latest adventures, and all we have is beef ramen. But it doesn't really matter because we never use the flavor packaging anyway. We're just using the noodles. So we're going to take about 4 packages of ramen. Now ramen, of course, is the biggest portion of this dish, as all of our Wizpow ramen dishes are. This is one way to make a little bit of good food go a long ways. And we're heating some water with a little oil. And what we're going to do for this recipe is we just want to keep the ramen noodles whole as far as possible. So we're just going to separate the little packets here, and we're going to put them in whole. Sometimes we'll crush them or whatnot, but this one we want whole because we kind of want long noodles. And see, we don't use the ramen packet here. Otherwise it'd be beef and we're doing chicken. But they have a lot of salt anyway. So we'll prepare this ramen while we're marinating our chicken, and then we are going to steam all the veggies that we scrounged up. After our ramen is boiled appropriately, then we drain off the water and then put just a quick cold rinse through there. And while it's still warm, we might want to add a little bit of butter maybe just to the noodles here. And then this is pretty much the prep on the noodles. And then we're going to put this in a separate separate while we steam the vegetables. Over here I started, you can see where I took the chicken tenderloin strips that we had marinated, and I put the whole marinade in here. And what this is this will slow, I mean this is not, you don't want to cook this fast. You don't want to sear it or anything like that. What we're going to do is just let it go real, maybe around medium, and until it gets our desired. As you can see, once you go to turn it over, chicken doesn't take a whole lot to cook, but this way it'll stay really tender in the juices and in the marinade that we made. So we're gonna let this cook. We have our ramen, and we're just gonna steam the assortment of vegetables that we were able to scrounge together, and then we throw it all together, and it makes this next Wizpow Ramen recipe. Okay, we're gonna prepare to steam our vegetables, and we're gonna take a little bit of water, and maybe just add a splash of vinegar, and then maybe a tablespoon of some lemon here. And we're gonna add that here. And then let that get hot. And we're gonna take our assortment of vegetables here that we were able to scrounge around. And as you can see here, we have the mushrooms, some fresh mushrooms cut, some onions, some greenage, some carrots cut, little pieces of some chilies there. And we're gonna take all of this and add that into steam. And see, it just takes a few minutes, and the saute or the marinade that we made mixes with the chicken just perfect, and it's all ready to go. Just nice strips of chicken. So we're gonna get our ramen and get, well, enough for a bowl. Now that our ramen's cooled a little bit, and while cooling it, it allows it to be a little more moldable. So what we want to do is take ramen and just use it as a main bowl filler for here. But you know, ramen, it's a good way to save money, but it gets kind of boring sometimes. So we're gonna take a little bit of ramen, mold it out a little bit there, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some of our fresh steamed vegetables. Then we put the steamed vegetables in our little cubby, and then because we have a lot more of those, spread those out and top it off. Okay, then we top it off with a little bit of our chicken, and there we have it. Another